And you talk about with the sex addiction guys, hey, dude, take a year off from relationships, work on yourself. That's exactly, I don't know if you knew this, that's the exact phrase I give to men that have gone through a divorce, especially those guys that have gone through the betrayal of being cheated on. It's like, give the ladies a rest. The line I often use is, the ladies ain't going anywhere, dude. They'll always be there.
That's right.
It's not like you have some kind of biological clock ticking, you got to make babies or something like that. It's just like, cool it, just work on yourself, work on your friendships and your hobbies and your craft and your career and your mental health, God forbid, and everything else. Just leave the relationships be for a little bit. But they're pretty needy dudes. They're pretty anxious-y. They get a lot of their sense of worth from the attention from
Yeah,
ladies.
that partnership.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that's a sign if a man just has to jump back in, right? Or if they have to start swiping left and right, right? They don't give themselves any time. That just shows. That always tells me like you're not quite ready to do the work, you know. And those guys always come back. They're like, ah, you were right. It didn't work out, or she was just like my last one, right? And that's that part when how you show up in the world and the work you do will determine, I think, often the partner you find. And I think when you understand vulnerability and emotions and your worth, I think you're going to find someone that can see that and they'll give that back to you, their own, right? And then you have, I think, a healthy relationship, much
Yeah.
more.
Well, easier said than done, isn't it? Especially when you got a lot of unhealed trauma from
Yeah.
childhood and certain
Well, and how
embedded.
about the dating apps, Ralph, too? That creates a whole nother,
Oh, it's an
that makes
addictive element.
infidelity and that, yeah,
Yeah, how
makes it a
easy it
lot
is.
easier today.
Especially if you're, okay, here's my story. I'll be completely open and vulnerable. It was cheated on, felt like crap. What am I? What kind of man am I? A lot of sudden weight loss. You talk about you gained weight during yours. My opposite was weight
Yeah.
loss. So like a good 20 some odd pounds of weight loss, which made me feel better about myself. Like, yeah, look at me. I actually look decent now. Thank you, anxiety. Thank you, lack of sleep. And then get back into the gym to, work on myself and my stress. And I feel really good about myself. And I got some attention from the opposite sex. Of course, they were all not the best relationship candidates, but I got
Right.
the attention. Made me feel better about myself. All right, let's go on the old online dating thing. Swipe, swipe, swipe. So I swipe. Next thing you know, I got a nice, I was going to say Rolodex. I'm showing my age. Little black book of I got a roster of gals to call upon. And
Hmm.
I'm no Adonis playboy guy, but I got a taste of that for a relatively short period of time, and that made me feel really, really good. So if I were to go back to Ralph back then, 12 years ago, and say, dude, cool it with the women thing, I'd been like, I haven't felt this in I don't know how long, last 20 some odd years. Are you kidding me? Why would I hang that up?
Yeah.
But fast forward to now, and I go, oh, Ralph, what were you doing, dude? Come on now. So it's easier for you and I to say it. It's tough when they're in the throes of it, but you're right. Inevitably, they all come back and go, yeah, you were right. That was a mistake.
Yeah, but Ralph, I think for you, right? Like you needed to experience that, or like I had some of those same kind of experiences, and what I learned was like I'm gonna be okay. I am okay. Like I don't, but that the infidelity just beat me down so far that I didn't think anyone would ever want to talk to me, date me, or think I was worthy of anything. It was pretty brutal what it did to my ego. So
Yeah.
so yeah, you
And
get that taste, but that taste can be
yeah.
dangerous and intoxicating. And that's what
Yeah,
you're
there's a school of thought of
alluding
like,
to.
yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to jump into the deep end of the pool and get your
Yeah,
heart broken at 12 times, and eventually you're like, this ain't so bad. So yeah, there's a case to be made for maybe that's one avenue of doing it. But from what I've seen, for a lot of men I talk to, not all, but for a lot of men, it's don't worry, Ralph. I'm just going to go out and have casual sex with a bunch of women. It's been forever since I've gotten any. I was in 10-year dead bedroom with my wife before she cheated on me, whatever it may be. So I'm going to go get some. And then gal number one, number one. All right, I think this may be the one. I'm like, oh shit, here we go. No, 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 it's different, dude. You don't understand. She's got this going on, this great thing. That sure she has these other red flags, but it's fine. And then 6 months
yeah,
later, oh god, turned out she was an alcoholic. This turned out that is something bad. So it's tough to see clearly when you're in the middle of all that nonsense. So when we tell,
It
yeah, for
is.
some of you, maybe that's what you need. It's like, oh, I don't know. I still say I don't care if you tell me you've gone through all kinds of therapy or whatever. Just give it a year. What's it going to hurt to give it a year? To all the guys watching this, just give it a rest for
It's
a
just
year.
it's not that long in the scheme of
No, it
things,
goes by
right?
fast.
To get it right, you don't have to experience all this again. I even get guys like, you were saying like they found the one on the first date, if you will. I get the guys that will go and they'll sleep around and then they'll come up with the realization like it was not worth it. Like they realized they felt maybe used, it felt hollow, it felt like a lot of work. It was just so empty then and that's when those guys that's when they really jump in because they realize like I'm off. How I do relationships is off. What I expect from others is off. What I'm seeking is off. And I think the bigger truth, and I know I went through this, was I didn't know what I wanted. I didn't know what I deserved. I didn't, and because I didn't really know who I was. I didn't know how that that scarlet letter, if you will, of being cheated on. I didn't know how that was going to mold me and change me into the man I am now.
Hmm.
And like I wish it wouldn't have happened, and I'm glad it happened at the
There
same
you go.
time.